Hey everyone, what's up? My name is Ryan, aka Alethal Llama, and today I want to talk to you about Boundless, an open-world, cross-platform game from Wonderstruck coming to Steam and PS4 sometime in 2016. When the game was announced a few weeks ago with a gameplay trailer, I was certainly intrigued. It seemed to be, to many people, Minecraft with a twist. But after going on the game's website and reading paragraphs upon paragraphs of information about the game, it became clear that Boundless is something else entirely, worthy to be a game of its own. And because the game's website has just so much information about the world, the lore, the crafting, the creatures, the portals, and so on, I thought it'd be best to make a video breaking down all that information, using the gameplay trailer to give context to the many things Boundless has to offer. Hopefully this provides you with a good idea of the kind of game that Boundless is going to be. And I apologize in advance for lots of reused footage. There's only a minute and 41 seconds of video that I can use. With that out of the way, let's get to it. As the trailer opens, we get our first look at the game world. We're in a cave with various animals grazing around us. Boundless is home to many creatures, some friendly, some not. They can be tracked, hunted, and killed for rewards. They also seem to be attracted to these beams of light with some kind of dust or material falling down. This may be useful in tracking down creatures in similar environments. As our player walks by a pair of them, one turns at us and growls, as if protecting its territory, but it doesn't attack. This implies there may be kinds of animals that only attack if threatened or attacked first. We then come upon one of the most interesting parts of the game: portals. They are doorways that physically link worlds across the game's universe. They are created by finding a rare material called Ortstone, and you can either choose a location for it to lead to, or you can open one up in a random or undiscovered world. We then see another player-controlled character who, like you, has a unique appearance, skill, and role chosen by the player. Looking past them, we see the Minecraft-esque blocky world. This world, like every other in the game's universe, was procedurally generated, with different and varied terrain and block types, each with their own properties. There are ocean worlds, mountain worlds, desert worlds, and more, all with their own resources and potential of danger. Each world also has a day-night cycle and dynamic weather based on its environment. As it begins to storm, the creatures seem to react to the weather as they run for cover from the rain. Our player runs through another portal and enters a massive hub world, with dozens of players working on whatever skill or role they've chosen. There are builders, titan hunters, loot chasers, shop owners, weapon crafters, and more. Boundless houses a citizen-based economy, where players can trade resources and hire other players for profit. Need help building a construct? Enlist a player who's great at building in exchange for valuable resources. Want to go exploring in dangerous lands? Find like-minded players to go on the adventure with you. Even though the game's universe is procedurally generated, everyone shares the same universe, allowing for teaming up and collaboration. You can go it alone or with friends. Keep your wealth and gear to yourself or share with others. If you decide to team up, you can create or be part of a guild, which grants you access to monetary benefits, shops, and land. Together you can build cities, interconnected portal networks, shops, and hub worlds that other players from across the universe will flock to. But if everyone's connected, what's to stop other players from destroying all of your hard work? That's where beacons come in. A limited craftable item that is used to claim and control land, allowing or not allowing other players, friends, or guild members to alter or add whatever they like to your land. They can even be used to secure strategic locations. For example, if you find a rich resource deposit, you can claim it and then set up a shop to profit on the goods. Next in the video, we see a path scattered with different portals, showing off some of the variety of the game worlds. First, we see a desert world claimed by sand, and the fact that animals can enter through portals. This would be important in deciding the placement of your portal, as building one near a swarm of dangerous creatures could spell your demise. We also catch a glimpse of some kind of creatures that can jump or leap. Next up looks like a player-built community, with a house or cabin on the right with an impressive-looking structure as the main attraction. Whether it was built purely for aesthetics or some kind of function, I'm not sure, but the fact that you can charge other players to see your creations certainly makes either option plausible. Next is a world with purple snow or petals with huge trees in the distance. The second to last portal shows a basic grasslands with what appears to be a swamp in the foreground. Before a character enters the last portal, there are some things to note. One is that players appear to have emotes with a foreign dialogue attached to them. We saw this earlier as well with the first player we met. This could be a good way to communicate with strangers if there are different emotes for different things, like requesting help in different tasks. I imagine being able to ask a stranger if they'd like to trade, for example, would be very useful. Similarly, some kind of system where you can message other players would help. After entering the last portal, we can see a massive floating entity known as a Titan. Being able to take one down is no easy task, as they're being defended by protectors, giant beasts who guard what they believe to be theirs. They attack on sight and always fight in groups, so taking them on requires the right weaponry, equipment, skill, and coordination. At least 4 types are shown on the game's website, which means different strategies for taking on each kind. However, if you can take down the protectors and take down the Titan, great riches and resources await, even allowing you to make your own flying structures by breaking down its core. All players also have access to a kind of rope grapple that allows you to traverse vertically and possibly horizontally across the game world. Just from the video, it seems to be a tool that is unlimited in its use, which would be useful to warriors, builders, and collectors alike. But it's not known how far the rope grapples can reach, but seeing what is shown in the trailer, you can travel a considerable distance. My last point is about the hammer the character is wielding. Surprisingly, it's not mentioned in the game's website at all. However, we can assume that it can be used to craft, build, fight, destroy, or any combination of these, and the glowing symbol on its side implies that it's imbued with some kind of power or energy. All in all, Boundless seems to be selling itself as a game where you can be anyone and do anything in a living, breathing, player-centric world. I'm personally most excited about using beacons to claim pieces of land, effectively making a part of this universe yours to do with what you please. That, in addition to portals that can transport you to unknown worlds and potential riches, and the lore that tells of ancient technology and an extinct but not forgotten race, Boundless is definitely a game I'll keep my eye on. And that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Ryan, aka Lethal Llama, and I'll see you next time.